feature video. Today we see if pricing could spoil the party for iPhone makers Apple. Hello and welcome to Business Standard feature video. Today we see if pricing would spoil the party for iPhone makers Apple. For many, Apple's highly anticipated launch on Tuesday was to be the answer to consumers in India, China and other emerging markets who craved some iOS magic in their life but could not afford its previous range. Not to mention that it was expected to completely blow Samsung and other Android devices out of the water. Did it? Well, at least not in India. Apple's website in traditional style displays the colorful 5C, widely considered to be Apple's low-cost offering, front and center, claiming that the 16GB phone will retail at a mere $99. Apple pared costs by replacing the aluminium and glass outer shell of the iPhone 5 with plastic in 5C along the lines of Samsung's Galaxy range. But that does not mean that the $99 tag will translate to an iPhone for under $6,500 in India. Apple has strategically held an event in China on Wednesday following its Cupertino US launch. But the catch is that the 5C will cost 5 times more off contract at $549, around 35,000 rupees according to Apple's website. Operators in the US enter contracts with handset makers to subsidize the cost of a device, earning from the network usage by the customer. Indian regulators don't have provisions for checking users from jumping networks, and hence such models don't exist. Apple's tie-ups with Airtel and Aircel have only discounted monthly US charges and not the upfront cost of the device. Apple has not announced the Indian pricing of its two new models, the 5C and the flagship 5S. India is also not part of the initial launch in 10 countries slated later in September. But India could be one of the next 100 countries due to see the launch of the devices in December. Even in China, where as much as 1/3 of the world's smartphones get sold, $549 translates to $3,359.81, the average monthly salary. However, the expected pricing will mean there would be a gap of just $100 between the 5S and the 5C. At around 35,000 rupees, 5C is a bit of a downer. It will not be considered cheap, and there are several international brands in the bracket with good specifications, says Mansi Yadav, senior analyst at IDC, who is expecting the price to be between 20,000 and 25,000 rupees. For the company itself, though, the new pricing presents a silver lining. At the very minimum, the iPhone's price point makes it available to many more than it ever was, even if it is still out of reach for half the world's lower-income population. For those not willing to shell out, other brands will happily provide a cheap shoulder to cry on. Join us again for more. Thank you.